guys. So I am oh gosh, my hair is crazy today. It's like big and fluffy. So I am live today to paint our flip-flops. If you joined me last week, you assembled your template with me. And don't forget, the template is on the website for half off just for the month of July. So if you haven't already purchased it, you can purchase your template to cut out the flip-flops. Now, I didn't cut this one out again because I had already painted the other side. And so I literally am just flipping it over and painting the other side. Now, if you have never joined me before, you know I like my Spinny Sue or my Lazy Susan. So I do have my board on that, which helps me not smush my bows because it elevates it off of my table. You can also, if the other side is painted, you could also lay a microfiber towel down so that it doesn't get scratched up. So I am going to do that and I'm all ready to go. But if you didn't join me last week, let me show you what a template looks like. So a printable template is something you purchase off the website, you download, and you cut and paste or tape it together. And then you lay it on a piece of wood, which I like to use either 1/4 inch MDF or 1/4 inch tri-ply. They call it underlayment plywood at Home Depot. It's like $14 for a big sheet, and I have them cut it down, and I can get lots of signs out of that one sheet. So this is what my template looks like. I would lay that down on that big board, and I would cut it or trace it, and I would use a jigsaw to cut it out. If you're like, Kara, I have no idea what you're talking about, how do I do all that? There's a blog post on my website that shows you how to do everything from assembling your template to drawing it on to using your jigsaw and cutting it out. I tell you my favorite jigsaw, my favorite wood, all the things. So if you need that blog post, let us know in the comments and we will get that for you. But I did want to show you that my flip-flop might look a little bit different today because I attached bows with a zip tie on the other side. So I literally drilled 2 holes. I put my bow on and I zip tied it through the back. So you're like, well, how are we gonna paint over that? Well, we just are. We're just gonna paint over it. We are also probably gonna add some type of embellishment over this with either hot glue, wire, E6000, something, but that will come week after next. So we are gonna paint the flip-flops patriotic themed. So we're gonna do stars and stripes and all of that this morning. But I did wanna show you, this is what we painted in the virtual paint party this month. And guys, it turned out so cute. So if you're not in the virtual paint party and you want to know what that's all about, you can sign up for the wait list. We reopen in September and I'm so excited because we've got so much new stuff coming. We are working on, for our current members, we are working on some really awesome new stuff to be dropped into the vault. So super excited. So I've got all my supplies here. I am hold on just a second. I was trying to record above and it turned off for some reason. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna get started painting. I did want to show you one thing though. A lot of times I get asked, how do I know if the design that's in my head is gonna look good on the board before I paint it? Because I don't want to have to repaint it. So I did want to introduce you guys to just the way that I kind of pre-plan. And I do it electronically, but you can do it with just paper and markers. Hold on just a second. There it is. You can do it with just paper and markers or however you want to do it. But doing it electronically, I have my template up and I can drop colors straight into it and kind of do a mock-up to make sure that I'm going to like the way that it looks. So let's say that I wanted to do a dark blue. It's not dark enough. Let's see. A dark blue, excuse me, outer edge. So I can drop, open layers. Now, friends, you would do this just with pen and paper, but I'm just going to show you how I do it with my iPad. All right, so I'm going to drop that color in there. Then I'm going to drop red into here. Oh, it did the whole thing. Is it connected? Let's see. And then I'm going to drop white. I may have to color the white in. Yep, let me do that. So I'm going to roughly show you how I mock up before I paint to make sure I'm going to like the way that it looks. So I'm going to color this in. And like I said, you can do this with paper and pencil. And all of my digital templates come with three different sizes. So they come with a PDF that's letter sized for like attaching to a wreath. So like, you know, about the size of a sheet of paper. But they also come with an ornament size, which is about 4 inches. And that is perfect to print off and recolor so that you can, you know, get an idea of what it's going to look like before you do it. Okay, so I'm just coloring this in as if it were markers. And then over here, I'm going to put some stripes. And I'm just kind of playing around with what it would look like. So I can, before I go to the board to paint, I can make sure I'm happy with my design. Uh-oh. Okay, so let's pretend like these are stars. And then over here, I'm going to get that blue back. And I'm going to do stripes over here. You can do thick, thin, whatever you want to do. But so this is kind of how I would mock up before I started to see, am I going to like the way this looks? Okay, so the way I want to do it, I want to do I think I want to flip this. So this is going to be red and white stripes, more like the flag. And then this would be blue with stars behind it. I think I'm going to like that better. So let me just quickly switch that out. I'm going to go back to... yeah, let me just go back in here. All right, so if I did that, I would recolor this blue. And you're like, well, Carrie, your straps aren't going to show. Well, we're going to fix that in just a second. So let's recolor this blue. And friends, this takes a little bit of time, but you can really visualize before you get started so that you don't have to repaint the whole thing. So I'm showing y'all on here, and then we will go to the board. Okay, so there's my stripes, and then I'm going to do my stars. And if you're like, I don't have that program, you don't need this program. You just need paper and a pencil, or colored pencils or markers. All right, so we're going to add stars. Okay, I like that better. And then I'm going to make this bigger, and I'm going to draw my straps back on in white. And then I think I might do, I don't know, I may do something on the straps. So maybe, I don't know. But I think I'm happy with the way that looks. But I think I might want to go around the whole outer edge and do like a line border. So, all right, so this is how I mock up. And now let's paint. So I'm going to get my red paint because I know I want this to be red and white stripes, and I want this to be blue with white stars. Okay, so I've got my blue. I'm going to get black because I know I always need black. And I've got, I don't want this one. I want one of these. Friends, I'm going to use a gloss red. So you can use whichever brand you want. I'm going to use my apple barrel because it's already open. And then I've got white. I think that's all I'm going to need right now. Okay, so white with red. Let's start with the white. We're going to do an all-over coat of white. Y'all probably never seen me do this before. But I'm going straight to the board with my paint, and I'm going to get my big base coat brush. I'm a mess today. And I'm going to spread that paint all over. So just a base coat of white. And friends, we're going to paint as much of this as we can today. And then I am on vacation next week, but I will be back with y'all the week after. So if you need to catch up, if you haven't bought your template, if you haven't cut your wood, and you need to catch up, totally you have time to do that. All right, all that paint's gone. So let's get some more. And I would love it, friends, if y'all would sprinkle the love. We're just gonna do a super fun, patriotic flip-flop door hanger. And don't forget, it's the template's half off in the month of June. So head over to the website. It's only $2.50, and you can paint along with us. All right, I'm just spreading some paint. Y'all let me know if you have questions. And I'd love to know, before you guys paint a door hanger, do y'all sketch it out first and try to decide your colors? How do you decide what colors you're going to paint it? Because to me, the worst is when you paint the whole thing and you're like, ooh, I don't really like that. So I try to avoid that at all costs. All right. Almost have our base coat of white on. For those of you who are new and you're like, well, why would you, if you're going to paint that blue, why would you base coat it in white? Well, friends, blue tends to be a pretty transparent color, which means it's very see-through. And so a lot of times by base coating in white or adding white to that blue, that first coat of blue paint, you will be able to get better coverage quicker with less coats. So that's why, even though I'm going to be painting blue, I went ahead and painted white underneath. I don't do that for every sign. The colors that you really need white with are yellow, orange, red, and blue. There might be a couple others, but those are the ones that are screaming out to me right now. All right, so friends, I'm just finishing this white base coat. I have extra kids here today, so if you see kids popping in asking questions, it's because I have extras on my hands today. It's summertime. We are in like full-blown summer mode. We went to the pool Friday, and then we went yesterday afternoon, and it was really nice. Like, the kids have some really sweet friends, and I enjoy having them around. It's so important too, like as a mom, especially when you know, my kids are always like, Mom, can my friend come over? Well, you know, if they have good manners and they are polite, chances are I'm gonna say yes. Anybody else, if they're not polite, like chances are I'm gonna say no. Am I alone in that? I can't see any comments. So friends, if y'all are talking, I'm so sorry, but it doesn't look like Facebook is going to show me today. Okay, I've got my base coat of white on. And center this back here. I will end up, this side is going to need another coat of white because it is going to be white and red. This side, with it being blue, I'm not going to put a second coat on. But what I am going to do is I'm going to leave this brush off to the side. I'm going to get my egg carton for paint. Guys, you can use an egg carton, you can use paper plate, whatever you want to use. And then I'm going to get my blue paint. And I'm going to start painting this because it's almost dry. Now, you don't want to paint over it before it's dry because you're going to blend the blue and the white and have like a baby blue. So as soon as this is dry to the touch, you can start adding in your blue. Oh, this is going to be so pretty. know somebody's going to ask, what color blue are you using? This is cobalt blue. It's a Michael's color from their Craft Essentials brand. And this is going to need another coat. But, friends, I kind of like the weathered look that I'm getting from the white still being a tiny bit wet. So it's still blue, but it has this like denim-y look to it. And I'm kind of digging that. So I may leave it that way. And we may do this more like vintage looking, because that looks really fun. Now I didn't even take the wire off to paint the other side. A lot of my signs are reversible. And this just happens to be one that's easy to paint both sides. Oh, friends, if y'all joined me for the kite, if you didn't, it's in the, you can find it in the past videos, but if you joined me for the kite video, I had a member this past week, she actually sold a couple of the kites, but she did them red, white, and blue for 4th of July. They looked so pretty. So that might be something, you know, if you're looking for some quick money, that might be something you want to do, is make some 4th of July door hangers. Put them on your local Facebook marketplace and generate a few sales. Okay, guys, that looks so pretty. So I'm trying to get the brush strokes out of it, but I love how, I don't know if y'all can tell, but kind of how streaky it looks. All right, so I'm gonna get this brush wet, or put it in the water, and I'm gonna go back to this side and do some more white. But this time I'm not gonna put it directly on the board. I'm gonna put it in my paint plate. All right. Now this second coat is covering beautifully. The first coat was pretty transparent, but this second coat looks really good. Now you want to be careful to not get that blue paint, not mix it. Oh, and to all of my members, if you're watching right now, don't forget to join me at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, so 11:30 Central Time on the paid page. And we are announcing the winners today for the Creative Challenge for the month of May and for the interaction for the month of May. So I've got prizes ready to ship out. Those can ship out today. I'm so excited. So tune in to see if you win. We will be drawing those live. I wish I could see comments. All right, I'm gonna get this blue off the side of my paintbrush where I'm bringing these lines together. Uh-oh. Okay, a little bit of blue on there, but that's okay. All right, so right now we have blue and white. I'm gonna set this back down. If you missed it, I showed you kind of the front earlier. We're painting the back of this. So you could flip your door hanger to be summer or just for 4th of July. So one cut, two purposes. All right, just trying to get that line a little bit straighter. Okay, so what I want to tell you is, when you want to get smooth, crisp lines, you need to load your brush and go slow. So when I'm working in an area like that, I'm gonna load my brush and go slow. Girls, Kinsley. Hey, can you come in and holler for them? Sure. I'm on a live video. They're somewhere. Okay. Sorry. Okay, sorry. One of the friends' moms coming to get kids, and the kids were not waiting like I asked them to be. So, she's in there hollering for him. Hey, Tori, feel free to walk around. They may be on the back porch. Okay. Sorry. I told them to be ready. I think I hear upstairs. Okay. All right, so let's do, oh, I can't do that yet. All right, so let's talk for just a second about stars. I get this question a lot, and I don't know if you guys learned to do stars like this when you were in grade school, but the way that I learned to do stars is free-handed, but it would be something that you could practice on your own. So let me just show you. I'm gonna get a new canvas. Friends, Procreate is like my best friend. So if you're like, what program are you using? It's Procreate. Okay, yep, I'm gonna show y'all. All right, so here is my blank canvas. I'm gonna do it, let me see, there's the light. The light's good right there. Okay, so you go up, down, across, across, and down. Okay, so that's how I make a star. So just practice that. If you've never done that before, it's a super easy way to do it on your own, and it's easier than using a stencil. And you can make them all different sizes. So practice that. Let me clear it, and I'll do it again. So you go up, down, across, across, and down. Okay, and then you can fill it in. All right, so I hope that that was helpful. But that's how I'm gonna do my stars. So I'm gonna grab a paintbrush, and I want, for this particular part, trying to find the right brush, there it is. I want this stiff rounded brush that's kind of bigger. Now, if my stars were gonna be really small, I would use a smaller brush, but since my stars are gonna be bigger, I'm gonna use this brush. Okay, so I'm gonna do white stars. I'm gonna dip in this white, and I'm just gonna make my up, down, across. I need to hit this with the blow dryer real quick. Y'all give me just a minute. Okay, so that's better. Now my paint might actually stand out a little bit better. Okay, so I've got my white paint. Now, when you do the stars, you're doing them with the same pattern that you're doing polka dots with. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, when I make polka dots, I do them in a triangular pattern. So any three that are close together are going to make a triangle. So I've got this one. I'm going to do a third one so y'all can see. I'm just kind of cleaning this one up a little bit. Okay, now my third one, so I've got these two. My third one needs to be here so that they would make a triangle. All right, so I'm going to do one here. I'm going to fill it in, and I'll come back, guys, and make these sharper and more filled in. Right now they're a little bit transparent, but white always needs 2 coats at least to get the coverage. And then, so I'm going to go here to do a triangle with these 3. So then these 3 would make a triangle. right here. All right, so then these three would make a triangle if I put one right here. All right, so now I'm going to need another triangle out of these. This is going to be a partial star. So I'm going to pretend like I do the whole thing, but I'm really not. Because that's going to go right onto that white. So I've got just a partial polka dot or stripe. Star! What am I trying to say? And I'm going to get the rest of that paint off my brush. Okay, so we've got this part done. So now we're going to go up here. So I'm going to make a triangle out of these. So I'm going to put my star. I'm running out of paint. Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to do my star here. Clean it up a little bit, color it in. And friends, they're not all going to be identical, but because I like how this kind of looked like denim, I think I want to do this one kind of vintage. So even the red, I think we may go vintage with. All right, so 1, 2, the next one would be right here. And several of you might be asking right now, well, what about the flip-flop strap? Friends, we are like layering this like a 7-layer dip. We start on the back and we just work our way up. So we will worry about those after we get our background painted. My caveat to that is you can sketch it all out first and paint it like painting in the lines. That's just not the way I usually do it. Okay, so 1, 2, this one's going to be right here. And then I'm going to do one up here. If y'all can see that. And then I'm going to do a partial 2. So 1, 2, 3. A partial right here. Now I will tell you partial stars are a little bit harder than partial polka dots, but it can still be done. Okay, let me show y'all what that looks like without messing up the front so far. Okay, so we've got kind of that rustic, vintage, almost like a denim look with the blue paint, and then we've got our first layer of stars on. Now I'm gonna get another brush. I think I'm gonna use this big one. Okay, this is like not the base coating brush that I use, but it's another big brush. This needs one more coat of white, but I want to do the stripes on at the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do my stripes. I've got bright red. And friends, I'm just going to kind of eyeball this. I'm not going to try to do this exact. But because I want it to look vintage, I'm not going to clean up those lines completely. Okay, so I'm going to leave that a little bit. And I'm going to leave a space about the same width as that line. And I'm going to do this next one. And I'm just going to keep going up, just like that. Oh, paint all over me. I should have put my apron on. I don't know where I put it. All right, so I'm not loading my brush and going slow because I'm going to show y'all up close. I want those kind of rough, jaggedy edges so that the whole thing can look kind of vintage. All right, now if you want yours to look clean, you would just load your brush and go slow. just going to go all the way up my sign like that. Friends, by turning my brush sideways like this, I'm kind of spreading the paint without getting extra. Okay. Oh, Michelle. All right, so I think I've got my stripes done. And, oh, I'm gonna flip this back around. Get that. Got a little bit of paint coming over the edge there, so I'm gonna get that off. All right, friends, so this is gonna have to dry just a little bit. Let me hit it with the blow dryer, and then we'll go on to the next step. So now I've got to go back over my stars, but I'm going to size down a brush size and then go over those with a smaller brush this time. So same thing, I'm just going to kind of go slow, clean them up just a little bit and add that second layer of paint so that they kind of pop. I still don't want them perfect. I just want them to be brighter and the edges be just a little bit more crisp. And friends, I will say I do have some signs that are much cleaner. And when I say cleaner, I mean they're not like the vintage look and like the quick hand painted like this. This sign's going to be a different look and feel. So I know that a lot of you will have, you know, different ideas, and I just try to cover all of those things so that you can paint either way, because I like to kind of go back and forth and change it up. And that second coat of white paint makes a huge difference. It's, I don't know if y'all can tell, but you see how much brighter these stars are than the others? spin this bad boy around and do this other part. I wish I could take a vote right now because I'm trying to decide what color I want my straps to be, and I think I want to go black. What do you think about mixing the black with the rustic looking kind of vintage worn? I want to talk to y'all. Sorry, my arm is getting in the way. But I'm just going over these stars, brightening them up. And what's funny is by painting these little pieces that were sticking up the same colors, I'm not even noticing them. And remember, people normally view your sign from a distance. So when you are starting to be critical of, oh, all the little, you know, if you paint it outside the lines or it's not exactly like you wanted, remember, like, hang it on your door and step back. Like, step back a distance, because that's where people are going to view it. So don't be really hard on yourself. The star is a little bit wonky over here. I'll have to fix him up a little bit. I don't know why, but this star reminds me more of a starfish. Clean him up. Oh, friends, it's Tuesday. It feels like Friday to me. Or Monday again. Kind of feels like the most Mondayest Tuesday ever. Alright, let me get that wet. Okay, friends, so I've got my stars on. I've got my stripes. Now I want to go back and I want to brighten up the white that is between all of these layers. So I'm going to get some more white paint and I'm going to brighten it. I'm not going to like completely cover it, but I just want to brighten it up a little bit so that you can kind of see the contrast. So I'm turning my brush sideways because I don't want, you can either size down a brush or turn it sideways and use it this way. I'm keeping those lines really rough. have extra time today, so I'm excited because normally I only have an hour, and I have like an hour and 15 minutes today. So I might be able to do a little bit more. But remember, friends, this is like a 3-part project. Last week we assembled our template. This week we were painting the base coats mainly, but I'm going to be able to do, like, I didn't just get to do the backgrounds. So I'm going to go as far as I can today, and then when I get back from vacation, week after next, we'll finish it up. So that gives you plenty of time, if you haven't even started the project yet, to get started. And the videos aren't going anywhere, so if you decide you just want to purchase the template and do it later, that's totally fine too. But remember, the template is only half off for the month of June. So if you want it, head over to the website and grab it before the end of June. Okay, so I added some more white to that, and I want to just show you what that looks like. I'm going to go this way. All right, and now I think I'm going to do black around the edges, maybe a gray. Oh, let's do that. You want to do gray? We can mix black and white and do like, so that it's not so bold. Thoughts? Gosh, I wish I could see what y'all are saying. Are y'all not saying anything? Nope. Okay, so white and black. This looks a disaster. I'm gonna wish I'd gone back to my drawing board. You know what, friends? I think I want to do red. I think I want to do red. Okay, I'm gonna get the paint out of this brush. I'm going to switch to a smaller brush and show y'all how to do the edges. But I think I want to do red. I think the black might be too harsh. Okay, so I've got my 5/8 brush, just a flat brush. I'm going to dip it in my red paint. This is a gloss. The gloss covers so much better than the matte does. Guys, I'm a mess today. What's going on? Let me get this off real quick. All right, so it's still wet. I'm just using a cloth. I'm going to get as much as I can off. And then I will hit it with the white paint before I move on. All right, let me grab a brush and the white paint. And I'm going to go right over the top of that. I may have to go over it again because red's kind of hard to cover up. But at least my big spill is gone. All right, so let me get my red paint again. And I'm loading one side of my brush. So one side has a lot, one side doesn't. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start on, let me move this so you can see. I'm gonna start on an edge, and I'm gonna hang the very tip or the very edge of my paintbrush off the side, and it is gonna act as my guide, so that I can kind of keep that same width all the way around. When I start to run out of paint, I'm just going to get some more. I'm just going right there to the edge. I hope that that makes sense. But you just kind of want to hang that one little bristle off the edge. And that's how we kind of keep our line width the same all the way around. All right. Do I want to do this one in blue? That might look really cute too. And then I could do the straps maybe all in red. all the way to the top. Now when you get over here to this edge, you may have to size down your paintbrush since you can't pull it off the edge. So you're gonna kind of have to wing it here. But I'm gonna go ahead and do this part that I can do with my paintbrush hanging off. Another thing you can do is you can lift up so that you're not pushing so much pressure down and your bristles aren't spreading apart, and you can keep the same brush. I think that's what I'll do right here. I just need to make sure that, you know, my widths are about the same all the way around. Because friends, it's those little details that make your signs look even better. All right, got most of that one part done. Okay. Now I'm going to switch to the blue. And we're going to do the same thing. So, blue paint. This is going to be a little bit bolder because remember we mixed, we had some white underneath the other. So if it's too bold for you, dip in your white and your blue. And you can bring that around. But we're doing the same thing. We're just kind of dragging our brush around and keeping part of it off the sign. We're going to go all the way around like that. Now we are trying to achieve the same width as we did for our red. So if you have to go back over it, that's totally fine. You need to add more paint, but you're just trying to get that border. And friends, if you like it better without a border, like leave the border off. I try when I come live to show y'all some, you know, different things, and I don't think we've done a sign with the border before. So I just wanted to show y'all that trick of kind of dropping your paintbrush off the edge so that you can keep that more consistent line. And it's not rocket science, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but I did want that border. Woo! Oh. All right, so I've got the borders done. Can y'all see? So now I'm gonna go ahead and draw in the flip-flop, what do you call them? Like the straps. I'm going to go ahead and draw those in with my paintbrush. I think I want to size down though. So I'm going to size down to, let's see what number this is. I think it's a number 10. Yep, it's a number 10, but these are the triangular handled. Okay, so with the red, we're going to go right up. I'm going to look at the other side. Yep. You know what? I'm going to grab my template since I didn't draw my lines out. Y'all may have drawn your lines out. I'm going to grab my template and set it right here so I can see. You get some more red paint. And then we're just going to go straight into the red. And y'all can see this curve right here is kind of where the curve goes up and goes to that point. So I'm going to use that curve and I'm going to paint my flip-flop lines in. At this point you could dry your sign and I could trace with graphite paper. I could lay my template back on top and I could trace those lines on. But I'm going to kind of wing it and just paint them in. Friends, I got a little splatter right there, but I'm not even going to fix it because this is supposed to look kind of vintage, and I kind of like that it has some imperfections. Alright, so now we've got that strap. I'm going to go into my water, same brush, and I'm going to go and do this other side. So we're going to do blue this time. I am still mixing a little bit of white in with my blue since I didn't go straight blue. And we're going to do the same thing. So I'm going to find this curve and I'm going to go up to here. So just like that. And I realize these are blending in, but bear with me. We will find a way to make them stand out. All right, there we go. Okay, so I've got my straps somewhat drawn in. I'm going to go back over this blue again, this edge. And make it stand out a little bit more. Okay, so that's where I'm going to, I think, stop for today. Well, you know what? I do want to go back around this border and add some streaking lighter blue in here. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I did want to add some streaking in here. Okay, and I'm looking up here because it's a different view than what I'm seeing when I'm straight down. I'm recording up here, so I can kind of see, you know, I tell you to step back from your sign and look at it. That's kind of what I'm doing by looking above me into that other camera, is I'm kind of looking to see what do I need to fix, where does it need, you know, a little bit more highlighting, where the strap's getting lost. I can see all of that up here. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit more, and then friends, we are going to come back to this week after next. And we will finish our flip-flops, but I want to show you what we've done so far. This is how far we've gotten. All right, and we will come back week after next. We will add accents, which are going to make it pop, and then I'm going to show you how to hang your door hanger with either a drill or with a staple gun. So that is forecasted for week after next. Next week I will not be live. I will be on vacation with my sweet family, and I hope that you all find something creative to do next week. I will still be popping in, answering questions, and I'll be around, so if y'all need help, just ask. Make sure you join the Facebook group as well. There's a lot of great interaction going on in there, and we would love to have you. So I'm gonna stop for today, but I hope y'all have a fabulous rest of your week. Go grab your template, cut your sign, come back to this video and paint along with me, and be ready for the video in 2 weeks. All right, friends, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.